What a beautiful day outside. Time to make another video, and I'll try to make it fast so we can quickly get outside again. So, today's topic. Let's create a furniture piece that is inspired by the organic look of stones and features the structure of repetition. So, two very contrasting elements. We will use a human figure for a proportional guide. We know this is 18 inches. I got this from dimensions.com. And then in Fusion, we combine this together into a cool looking ribbed design like this, which looks very complicated, however, is really super easy to do. Okay, so let's get going. First, you can pick a pose you would like. Ideally, we want to have a pose of a figure where we know the height and the good the sitting surface. Again, here I know this is 18 inches. And the images down here are simplified versions of the person on top. That makes it actually less personal. I like those to be used more. So I made a screenshot of this, and then let's go to Fusion. I will make a new design. Go to the front view. We want to make sure this is set to inches. Then we go to Insert Canvas. And here is my pose photo. There we are on this plane. We can flip it. Very good. We need to adjust the scale. So right click calibrate, and then along the grid line here, perfectly I can position a line 18 inches. This image should be big. Okay, and again, right click edit canvas, and now we can position our body here wherever we want. It doesn't matter where left or right. What's more important is that this is not floating in space, or he's sitting on the ground with his legs cemented in like a mafia victim. We just put him like this. Very good. Okay, so organic shapes, as you can see here in this very quick demo I made before doing the recording, are ideally be made with the T-splines or the form geometry. Okay, so create form. There we are. We will start with a box. Ideally from the view here, this is good. Click. The rectangular center is also good. And then now I will try to see where is the center, vertical center. Click and drag here something out. Maybe to there. It doesn't really matter much. We can adjust everything later anyway. Okay, very good. So a little bit of adjustments or fine-tuning. The bottom at one point needs to be flat. No? So we need this to be round. The reason why I point this out, when we change the faces here to 1, 1, 1, you see actually how everything gets super fluid. That's maybe not really what I want. The bottom I would like to be flat, but the sides I would like to be round. So ideally along the vertical direction, I would like to have another cut, because this will straighten the bottom and top face. And now we can see which one is it. Oh, yeah, it's actually length. You see, if I go to here, this is the horizontal direction. That's not what I want. And this is actually vertical this direction. That's also not what I want. Okay, very good. So there, cool. Okay, and click OK. We want to really explore this very fast. I find for ideation purpose, the best approach always really is turn the brain off and just do stuff, and then see what happens, observe, analyze, refine, and then we can always go back and perfect it. Now I will extrude this one out a little bit. There we are. So I pressed the Alt key and dragged it out. Very nice. This is actually way too high. So we push this down a little bit. Very nice. This here, maybe a little bit back. There. Okay. So you see I'm trying to block this one in. Very good. I can also push this a little bit back. Yeah, so, okay, no, it doesn't look too bad. But let's make this more interesting. So I would like to have somewhere backrest. So here, this I will, whoops, I will bring back and extrude one more time out. Then I have here two faces. I hold the Alt key and I extrude this one out. So I have these points and I can hold and extrude those out. Then I have here 2 points. Maybe I'd select this face only, drag this one out. Yeah, and you start seeing actually how we're getting shapes. And then what I'm trying to do is soften everything, make it more fluid. Maybe this is too high. Let's bring this back. Maybe this point here, I want to pillow out more. Yeah, there. No, that looks more like a stone. This is kind of cool. We can keep it. Okay. I'm also like a maniac rotating my view a lot. That is not meant to confuse you, but it is just simply a method to try to observe how everything looks from different viewpoints. There. Yeah, maybe here. This maybe goes in a little bit, so maybe the person should sit in there. So we can just be goofing around and have fun. It's like Play-Doh. Play-Doh for adults. Added benefit, we don't get our hands dirty. Cool. Okay, so the bottom part is actually lifting up here a little bit. Now this is fine for what we try to do. We could add, for example, another loop cut through it. So let's say here along this edge, there, very close to the ground. Okay, then you see how this actually straightens this part, but then this changes the whole organic look, which is not what I want. So let's keep it this way. This is fine for our exercise. This should only be, I promise, a very quick video anyway. Okay, cool. So done. Finish form. Maybe hold on. Shouldn't have said that. Maybe let's push this in a little bit to make this more arced. And then here, there, and then you, okay, good. Now this is more organic. Finish on. Nice. Okay. So imagine later we want this to be made out of ribs that have a thickness. So either the ribs can be plastic material, steel, will be a pretty heavy one, pipes, wood, maybe. So we need to give this whole thing a thickness. So we do this via the shell command. So, it adds a thickness. We can select the whole object, and then we give this 2 inches of a material thickness. Very good. If we go to section analysis and take a look, and there we see 2 inches. Beautiful. Okay, good. So now we can imagine it's baking time. We have a nice slice of cookie dough, and we can go ahead and start slicing it. So we take a knife and cut pieces out. And that's why I make a sketch on the front, just maybe somewhere here, how wide 2 inches, it's taller and lower. So it's above it, very good. 2 inches to there, very good. Okay, fine. Okay, now I will do the following. I will finish the sketch and then extrude a piece out just as a new body first, just to see how does this look. Okay, perfect. So I need to replicate it. I'm not going to do this in the sketch. I'm not going to copy and paste. I will just use the rectangular pattern tool. So this body, please replicate along this direction. The spacing here, yeah, I would like to have spacing, because now for the distance I could say 4. So what does 4 mean? It's actually from here to here is 4 inches. If I set this to 2, you will see they're right next to each other. If I say this to 3, there's 1 inch in between. the object is 2 inches thick. So if this should be 3 inches, then there's a 1 inch gap in between. Easy, no? Good. Yeah, quantity. Let's see, 30. How many do we need? 29. So I'm paying no attention to on the other side. Where does it stick out? Okay, how much does it stick out? Here it looks like a cube, so of a grid. Here too. Okay, so let's click OK. That means this one here I need to modify a little bit. I want to make this nice and clean. So this face I simply select and just push out a little bit more. And also here, this we bring up a little bit. Bring this down. There. Okay. Very good. So you see how I blocked out everything a little bit more. Very nice. Good. So here comes now the fun part. We are actually kind of done. We now have to restructure our design. First, this, a right click, edit feature, and we turn this now into a cut. Because now it can cut. And then this command here, right click, edit feature, and say not the body, but the feature. Please repeat this extrude cut feature. Takes a moment. And there we are. And you see, easy peasy. So, what did we get? We actually got not really what I wanted. We have two, how could I say that? 2 inch gaps and 1 inch pieces, but maybe I want 1 inch gaps and 2 inch 1 inch. 1 inch gaps, 2 inch pieces. So this actually I will go and simply drag. So you see, I don't really work with any dimensions. You can, but I just use the grid to snap to stuff. Here I have 2 inches. Very good. Finish the piece. Now you will see how the calculation takes a tick longer. We're nearly good. So here we are. 1, 2, we're tick over. So maybe here, right click, edit feature, and then this face here, we move back by an inch grid. There you see actually the ghosted results. So now we have 2 inches of leftover finish. Yeah, there we are. Looks like a submarine, but pretty good. We have this we can remove. We have this one we can remove too. Maybe this we remove. So you see how we are opening the piece and remove that one. So we have a bigger look into the space. Now we could go ahead and think, yeah, so if we produce this out of plastic, how do we later attach these pieces? Now we could shoot a pipe through or build something in the inside. Let me quickly, only to give you an idea what I would do. We don't have to do this because we kind of like actually found the end of this video. But you see, when I go to this view and I slice my design, I can see how all this has kind of like this structure here, no? Okay, when I now go back to here, before I did all the cuts, now I could find a sketch that finds actually this inner line, and then I run up kind of like a pipe along it, like a bigger, I thicken up the space, and then later I shoot another pipe through it to core it out. Think about like a drill, we make then holes, so that then later here we would have cylinders with holes and we could run a pipe through. That's, for example, one way how we could do this. This is something the technical designer or the furniture engineer would actually do. This is something we can also think about how this could be built. We don't necessarily need to do this if our task right now is just to develop ideas for such a design. Well, this is sufficient. And that also means this video is done. Awesome.